live. Uh, let me get this started here. I'm turning the PlayStation on. I hope you guys are ready. People who are already here and people who will show up, and even people who will watch this after the fact. Let's go, Tyron. What's going on, man? All right. I'm doing all right. Hey, Jenna. How's it going? How are you guys doing on this Saturday night? We are about to watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I will admit, I do like the cover. It'd be better if the lightning was yellow, right? Hey, Bladed Joker, what's going on, man? You're awesome. You're breathtaking. Now, the movie, not so much. But the cover does look pretty cool. Are there no trailers? They jump right to the DVD menu. Wow, that's surprising. Can I watch? Yes, Jenna, of course. That's the point of this watch along. Is as many people who want to watch it with me can watch it. Oh, yes, thank you. This is a different one. If you can see that. It's not a movie shirt, but it's a comic book shirt, so all right, subtitles English. I'm debating on maybe I should wait a couple more minutes for people who want to get started on the film with me. So this should be interesting. I do have drinks prepared. If anybody, that's the reason why I said this is going to be a drunk watch along, because yeah, this movie's going to be rough. This movie's going to be rough. It might even be rougher than Spider-Man 3 was. Yeah. Yeah. Harry Osborne in this movie will be the source of a lot of my shot taking. Wow. Okay, Bladed Joker says he likes this movie more than Spider-Man 3, which is understandable because I'm definitely more frustrated with Amazing Spider-Man 3 because of I care more about those characters and that story. I'm more invested in the Sam Raimi movies, so seeing the mistakes that Spider-Man 3 makes is more frustrating than the mistakes that this movie does, because at the end of the day, who cares about this? What series will I watch next? That's a good question. I'm debating on, if not The Matrix, because I don't know if I'll have time to watch all three Matrix movies before the new one comes out. Because I don't want to do too many live streams to fatigue people who don't like them as much. So I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I know for sure I have not pressed play yet. I was waiting for as many people to come in as possible. So, Jenna, I will announce when I press play. I will announce it. I will say 3, 2, 1. I will do all that, but I have not done that yet. Tyron says Scream. Yes. Yes. Scream. Scream probably will be the next one because the new movie is coming out in January. So yeah, that would actually make sense. Scream, and then at some point next year, I'll do Batman to lead up to the Batman. But that's March. I'll have to figure out a schedule and what series to do, especially if people are into it. So, alright, I'll probably wait another like 20 seconds before I press play. Man, alright. Batman will take a while. That's true. You got the 4 original, the 3 Dark Knight. I mean, technically, that's only 7. That's only 7 because I'm not. I'm gonna save Batman versus Superman. I'll save the Ben Affleck movies for whenever I do the DCEU. Um, so yeah. All right, guys. I think. What do you guys think? You think it's time? You think it's time to press play? Are we ready for this? I'm gonna get ready. For anybody that wants to watch the movie along with me, I'm gonna press play in 3, 2, 1. Wait, what? Tyron says 5 minutes. Why? What's going on, Tyron? What's wrong? What's wrong? Why do you need 5 minutes? I mean, right now it's only on the FBI piracy thing. I love Scream. I'm so excited. I'm going to be there every Scream stream. Scream should be interesting. And you know what else? I'll probably also want to do the Chucky movies. But I'll probably do that leading up to season 2 of the Chucky show. We can do that. All right, Tyron. I like 2 minutes. All right. I have it on pause. I will give you another 2 minutes. But before we get started, this is a very interesting movie to talk about. I did see this at a screening in theaters, and I remember coming out of it having very mixed feelings. I liked some aspects of it, I disliked other aspects of it, and I guess I came out of it feeling like, all right, it was fine. I know I didn't love it, but I loved the Gwen Stacy stuff. I love the this movie is 2 hours and 21 minutes. Wow, is it really? Shit. There's a lot of shit in this movie. You're 10 seconds in. I haven't started the movie yet, Jenna. I decided to give Tyron another minute. So, I'm sorry. I haven't pressed play yet. Do we think they should have old villains of Spider-Man get their own feature standalone movies? Man, I don't know. The Venom movies have not given me a lot of hope over the idea of doing standalone movies. I'd be curious about a Black Cat standalone movie, maybe. I'm not really interested in a Craven the Hunter standalone movie. I'd much rather him be a Spider-Man villain going after Spider-Man. I don't know what a Craven movie would look like without Spider-Man. A lot of these villains, I don't really want to see them without Spider-Man. I think Venom shows that Venom is not that interesting without a connection to Spider-Man. He's not, So, all right, are we now ready? Are we ready? I'm gonna hit play. Venom wasn't a popular character. Venom was pretty popular. I don't know about that, especially the '90s. Venom was the shit. He, you people who talked about Spider-Man, at least people my age back then as kids, you talked about Spider-Man, Venom would come up. Venom would come up over Doc Ock and Green Goblin. Venom was all like in the '90s. Venom was the shit. Maybe you could argue recently he's not as popular, but then again, his movies also make a shit ton of money. As bad as those movies are, they still make money. Hey, Shadow Bear, what's up? What's up? All right, I'm gonna press play, guys. So we're gonna press play right now. If Ned existed in the Raimi movies, he'd be played by Wilmer Valderrama. All right, we're at 7 seconds in. Just to keep track, for people to keep track. Sony logo, of course, front and center. We need a Green Goblin movie. I mean, that movie probably would not suck. I will admit, a Green Goblin movie could be interesting. It's just, hey, AJ, what's up? Nice of you to join the stream. Columbia Pictures. And now we see the Marvel logo. But it's not the MCU Marvel, right? It's the sort of generic comic book panels, Marvel. I used to like this Marvel intro. What movie logo is this? Which one's? Oh, it's not a movie logo. It's it's Ben Parker's watch, or not Ben Parker. Sorry, Richard Parker, the father. So, okay, what do you guys think of the father backstory? The Peter Parker, what happened to his parents? Apparently, they were secret spies or some said shit, and they were trying to infiltrate Oscorp and find out stuff. Yes, in the comics, Peter's parents are Shield agents, and so I guess it's similar. It's just they can't say Shield in this movie. Somebody said it was trash. All right, well there you go. The parents' backstory, you guys think is trash? That's funny. Is there anybody that liked it? I will say that in the first movie, I thought it was interesting just because it was something different, but it ended up not being that interesting. I think by the time you get to this movie, it's just sort of like, that's it? Okay. You know, it's not a huge reveal. Chris Cooper as Green Goblin was a wasted opportunity. I agree with that. Why can't they say Shield? Well, because Shield, the organization Shield, the term Shield is owned by Marvel Studios, Disney. Whereas Sony can't say Shield. They can only say anything that relates to directly to Spider-Man, right? It's weird loopholes. It's weird. I know, but like, so now we're re-seeing the moment when the parents leave Peter when he was a kid, which is kind of odd because apparently Peter's father came in the house from the rain. So who was Peter playing hide and go seek with? If he wasn't playing hide and go seek with his father, then what? The Marvel logo is nice. Yep. Yes, there is a deleted scene in this movie that shows that the father is still alive, and I'm of two minds of it. I kind of wish they put it in, but at the same time, this movie is so long and so bloated that it's probably best that we don't do that. It would have been just yet another plot point. I just liked the scene itself, and I liked Andrew Garfield's performance in that scene. He was really good in that scene. It just felt like another twist, another moment, another like we just had Gwen die, and yet you reveal that the father's alive. You know, Michael Cera as Ned. If Ned existed in this world, well, traditionally in the comic books, Ned isn't, well, no. Ned is the Hobgoblin, but they wrote Ned in the MCU Spider-Man movies to be more like Miles Morales' best friend, right? All right, so this is weird. So the pilot, I guess, is trying to kill them because he knows. I guess the pilot knows what. Oh, he just punched the mother in the face. So is the pilot working for Oscorp and he's trying to kill them? Tom Hardy's Venom fits more in this. I agree. When I saw the trailer for Tom Hardy's Venom, I thought the way it was shot, the way it looked, the tone, more so before I saw how goofy the movie was. I thought, wow, yeah, this fits the Andrew Garfield movies a lot more than anything else. Maybe he works for Hydra. If Hydra existed in this universe, yes. But I think this guy just works for Oscorp. Like somehow Oscorp found out that they were spying on them and they were going to release some shit. I don't know. Well, the problem is that, spoilers for Venom Let There Be Carnage, the problem is that Venom is now in the MCU, according to the after credit scene. At least he was brought into the MCU universe, so maybe they can swap him out and put him here. That's possible. But I also don't know if Andrew Garfield like wants to do more Spider-Man movies after No Way Home, if he is in fact in No Way Home. So all right, the mother got shot. I assume the mother's dead. The plane's going down. Yeah, the mother's dead. And that lets the father know it's okay to shoot the window out. My question is, how would the father have survived this plane crash? Yeah, multiverse is going to be crazy. Yep. Is this too loud? I don't want to get hit with copyright. Maybe Hardy and Garfield still fight in No Way Home. I guess it's possible. I don't really think Venom will show up in No Way Home, other than maybe a post-credit scene. But we need a version of Peter that's old and a mentor. Well, that's what Tobey Maguire would be there for. He's the oldest out of all of them. It would be cool, though, if we got a spin-off for Miles, like an origin of Miles Morales. But Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is the one that mentors Miles. Alright, here we go. I will say I do like this Spider-Man theme. I think Hans Zimmer did the score for this movie. And I don't love everything. The Electro theme is kind of dumb. But this Spider-Man score I do like. And him swinging through the city looks pretty cool. And this might be the best looking Spider-Man costume, just as far as it's more traditional. It's way more traditional than Amazing Spider-Man 1. The eyes are big and white. Yeah, great score, great suit, but the film is mediocre, and some people would say the film is just flat out bad. So yeah. Hey, it's Paul Giamatti as Rhino. Interesting casting. See, I will say this. I do like the idea of a Spider-Man movie starting with him going after a smaller villain. For example, do you want to see... The music is great. I agree, Jenna. And I love that. Him in the air. It's in slow motion. The action is directed much better than the first movie. Being in the daytime helps. Brandon J says Rhino needs a new actor. The problem is that Paul Giamatti's a great actor. It's not Paul Giamatti's fault. He either was directed to do this goofy performance, or maybe they told him, hey, do whatever you want, and he did it, and somebody should have said, tone it down a little bit. I do like this bit of Spider-Man being goofy. This is very Spider-Man. Him at his windows, being dumb. Oh, look at Max Dillon. There's our first look at Jamie Foxx, who, man, they fucked Jamie Foxx hard in this movie, man. This version of Max is so goofy and over the top. I know that it's supposed to make us feel bad for him, I guess. Oh, Spider-Man just saved him. And I remember in the theaters, everybody laughed at this part. When he fixes his hair, he tells him to lick that and fixes the hair. I do remember that got a huge laugh in the theater. And this is the moment where Max is like, holy shit, Spider-Man talked to me. He interacted with me. Oh my god, he's my best friend. I love him. I'm so obsessed with him. Blah, blah, blah. I'm the first person that doesn't feel bad for Max. Yeah. First of all, I don't believe that. I think there's plenty of people who feel the same way I do. And the problem is that Max doesn't feel like a real person. You know, like I can't feel bad for a guy that I just don't buy is real. It's so cartoony and so over the top. Um, they had a deleted scene to make you feel bad for Max more. Was that the scene where it it was Max's birthday and he was by himself with the cake, right? And then like was it his mother who was sort of treating him like shit? I did see that deleted scene. Yeah, yeah, okay. That's yeah. And again, I just maybe I'm just a cold, heartless guy, but I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. I understand that Max was innocent. I understand that Max was, he wasn't a bad person up until he turns. Will they ever do the chameleon? I don't know. I don't know. But once again, like I was saying here, how I like that the beginning of a Spider-Man movie starts off with him going after a not lesser known villain because we all know Rhino, but yeah, I can't believe Jamie Foxx played this version of Electro either. Peter sees Captain Stacy. Of course, it's not real. It's him and his guilt because he's talking to Gwen. Um, But the idea of Spider-Man going after Rhino at the beginning of this movie, but Rhino not being the main villain all the way through, that makes sense to me. So Chameleon could be a villain like that, where Spider-Man has to fight him at the beginning, or maybe the Chameleon is working for Norman Osborn or working for someone else. Um, I think technically we saw Hydro Man in Far From Home, right? I mean, I know it was just a Mysterio illusion. It wasn't really Hydro Man, but we got a sense of what Hydro Man would be like in that one scene. No, I think Cheetah from Wonder Woman 2 was just as goofy and silly and just as lame. I don't I don't say that what's that actress that played Cheetah in Wonder Woman? Bridesmaids. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I don't give her a pass because she's a woman. They're equally as dumb and silly to me. Anyways, didn't Shocker get smoked? Shocker got killed in Homecoming. Um, but I mean, technically, Bokeem Woodbine became the new Shocker, so I don't know if he's dead. He might still be around. I don't know. Oh, okay. Here's the scene where Spider-Man webs his pants down, and Rhino is just in his underwear. This is not the end, Spider. Um, Shocker was in Homecoming. Shocker worked for the Vulture. Cheetah looked like she secretly liked Wonder Woman but couldn't have her. That would be an interesting, or that would have been an interesting. Stan Lee. That cameo wasn't that great. Oh well, look at Peter just making out with Gwen on the stage. Kind of fucked up to do that when we don't even really know if they're dating. The Vulture was way better than he should have been. Yeah, Michael Keaton, the writers of Homecoming, did a great job with Vulture. So Andrew Garfield, his Peter Parker graduates high school at the beginning of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker graduated high school halfway through the first movie. Tom Holland, as far as we know, is still in high school in his third Spider-Man film. So that's just interesting to see where each Peter Parker is in their life with each movie. I know Andrew was almost 30 by the time he was making this second film, so I guess they probably felt like they had to Um, you know, they had to make him graduate. All right, here you have a moment where Peter and Gwen take a picture. Cheese. Man, Emma Stone is very pretty. She's very smiley. She's happy. I like that Tom struggles with high school and being a hero. I agree. I agree. I feel like the other movies went too quick through high school. As you know, as much praise as I gave the Tobey Maguire movie, we went through high school way too fast. It's like, man, we need more high school shit. Emma Stone better than Bryce Dallas Howard? Yes. Yes. I am very much an Emma Stone Gwen Stacy person. There you see Captain Stacy again, looking very creepy as hell. The way how he's staring at Peter. He's like, "You motherfucker. I told you to leave her out of it." Oh, I think we're getting a flashback. In case you forgot that he made Peter promise, there's the scene right there. Man, this is rough. Now, I don't like this. I, I feel like this is just forced, unnecessary drama. The whole idea that Captain Stacy makes Peter promise not to date Gwen. It's like, all right, fine. That makes sense. That makes sense. But at the end of that movie, Peter says, well, those are the best kinds, right? Promises you can't keep. Alluding to the fact that no, he's going to keep dating her. And you see at the beginning of this movie, he is dating her, but he's just feeling guilty. It's like, we should have just kept them broken up at the end of the first movie, kept it like this, and at the beginning of this film, he's still struggling with it, but have them not be together. The fact that they break up again at the beginning of this film, after we already saw them go through this at the end of the last movie, it's like, um, Miles needs his own movie. Well, I mean, you can introduce Miles in a Peter Parker movie. Like he could just be a side character that's just there, um, and then later on down the line, whether if Peter dies or if Peter retires or if you just want to have Miles get his own thing. Don't get me wrong. These two actors sell it well. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like the writing. But Emma Stone talking to him right here and saying, fuck, like we've been through this. Come on. And Andrew, his face of like, I can't lose you. I'm afraid to lose you. And her saying, dude, what the fuck? Like, we need to, you know, they're selling it perfectly. So, again, it's not them. They're the only reasons why I feel like this movie is worth watching, is to watch them two. And see, the way how she's just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep going back and forth. I can't keep being happy. And then you all of a sudden being upset and freaking out. And, and she's breaking up with you. Ouch. I break up with you. That sucks. That hurts. Because she's only doing it to kind of be like, dude, fucking get your shit together. But shit, it sucks, man. It sucks. And like, Andrew looks like he wants to cry right there. Man, they are selling the hell out of it. And she has tears in her eyes. That wasn't easy for her. Fuck. Ah. Because even though I don't like the drama, or at least the way how it happened, the acting was amazing. Um, all right, we're getting another daylight scene of Spider-Man swinging through the city. By the way, that's good shit. And Spider-Man is about to save this kid who was about to get jumped by like 5 kids. Like, what the hell? This is a pretty young kid too. It's like, what were they gonna do to this fucking kid? And what did he do? I do like though that he probably did that because this kid reminds you of Peter Parker. He looks like a young Peter. Wouldn't it be crazy though if that young kid was Miles Morales? I know he's a white kid, so I'm not saying him specifically, but I'm saying if that kid was a young, half black, half Latino kid, people would lose their fucking mind. They'd be like, "Holy fuck." Even if we never found out his name, we'd all be going like, "That's Miles! Oh my god!" You know, I do like this montage. You seeing that he's just drowning himself in being Spider-Man. He's even sick right now, trying to get medicine at the store. Hey, you're the Spider guy. I'm Spider-Man. He's sneezing. I'm Spider-Man. Hello. That's hilarious. I did like that scene. See that there's a couple good scenes in this. Um, there was a kid in Spider-Man 2 that could have been Miles. Huh, what kid? Which kid? Uh, Plus, Miles Morales was not even... He wasn't created when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 was out, so I doubt it. But if you want to go backwards and say, oh, retroactively, that could have been him. Miles Morales was created after Amazing Spider-Man 1 in the comics. Alright, so here you have this very silly scene of Aunt May trying to come into his room, and for some reason he was in his outfit and he just went under the covers. It's just a silly scene. I get it. His face is all dirty. He's claiming he's naked. He was cleaning the chimney. We have no chimney. Yes, Miles was created... Yeah, 2010 or 2011. Somewhere around there. Yeah. Hello, hello! You're back. You've been gone for a few weeks. Okay, it was 2011. I did wonder why I haven't seen your name lately. I'm glad it wasn't because you checked out. Good to have you back. Oh, a flashback of Peter remembering his parents. The briefcase, of course, of course. All right, it might be time to take the first shot because we are back to Max Dillon, and he's being goofy as fuck. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He's pretending like he's talking to Spider-Man. Apparently, a lot of people in the chat right now love Max Dillon, and they're giving him love, but I just can't. He's just too goofy. I just don't. Jamie Foxx could have played this, and I'm not blaming him. He was directed and written to act like this. But Jamie Foxx could have been a memorable evil villain, like a threatening villain, a serious villain, you know? Alright, we're taking a shot because of how goofy Max is. But that's also why I'm looking forward to seeing Max or Jamie Foxx back in No Way Home. He's getting a second chance to like make up for it. How many actors get that second chance? How many actors get that um, you know, that chance to write a wronged movie that they were in, you know? Jamie Foxx is getting it. I still think they have a chance to make Lizard cool. You know, just get that lab coat on Lizard, and I'll be very happy. Do you think in the first half will Electro be blue? Um, why not give Topher and Dane? Because I feel like, well, first of all, Topher should not have been casted as Eddie Brock, and we also have our own Eddie Brock. I don't think they're gonna play into that. And Dane DeHaan, I did not like his Harry Osborne either. Um, but that's just me. So I just don't care to see how they're back. Whereas Jamie Foxx, I just know he's capable of doing better. I know he's capable of doing better. I don't know if Dane DeHaan would be all that much better of a Harry Osborne. I don't know. I don't know what differently he could do. It's just um, and No Way Home is kind of like how they're doing with Green Goblin. Dane DeHaan's rumored to have a cameo. Oh, great! Can't wait. Yeah, we'll be seeing Dane DeHaan in this movie. So yeah, Topher was a pretty bad casting for Eddie Brock, and even Topher Grace admits that he wasn't a good casting choice. Even he has said in interviews that, like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have been casted, but he's like, I took it because it's Spider-Man. He's like, why wouldn't I do it? So again, I don't blame him, right? I blame the casting director. Gotta blame Sam Raimi or whoever casted the movie. Hey, there's Ryan from The Office. He's playing Alexander Smythe. If you guys remember Alexander Smythe from the 90s cartoon, um, he was the one that worked for Kingpin. He created those robots and drones and shit. You're no Spider-Man. He's a Leo. You're a Sagittarius. What? What the fuck? What the fuck? Electro just had a moment when he imagined himself grabbing Ryan from The Office and about to choke the life out of him. How dare you compare yourself to Spider-Man? Oh, that was so fucking goofy. Uh, yeah, how does he know Spider-Man's? He's Leo. You're a Sagittarius. Like, what? Boy, oh boy. Max is in the elevator with Gwen Stacy right now, and of course he's all weird and nervous. In the first film, Lizard actually killed the Indian guy. Yes, I do remember that deleted scene. There was a scene where the Indian guy came into his like lab or some shit, and then Lizard just kills him. Yeah. Uh, did you hear the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? Well, I didn't know that it was coming to Netflix, and I didn't know when, but I did see the pictures, the two pictures that they released. Um, the one picture of Leatherface in silhouette, and then the other picture of the cast. So, but yeah, no, I didn't know that it's going to be on Netflix. I guess we will have that to look forward to. They're supposedly calling it the true sequel to the original, which didn't they already do that twice? Hasn't there already been two sequels to the original? Here's a third sequel that's straight to the original. Here he is, Dane DeHaan. It actually pains me to crap on him in this film because I really loved Dane DeHaan in Chronicle. He was great in Chronicle. Chronicle was like, first of all, that movie was came out of nowhere, very surprising, and blew me away plot wise. All of the actors I didn't know beforehand. I didn't know Michael B. Jordan before that movie. Obviously now. Same thing with Dane DeHaan, his arc of being a villain. Like, it's just great, great film. And so I was happy that he got cast at first. But I did feel bad for him, yeah. Yeah, Chronicle is underrated. Chronicle does not get talked about enough. That's a film that I rewatched it like last year. Still holds up. Great shit. So here we see Norman Osborn, played by Chris Cooper. He's in bed. He's sick. He's all green and grotesque looking. Um, at first, I thought this was interesting. The whole idea that there's a disease that's turning Norman into a goblin-looking creature. I liked that because it was different until they killed him. And then when they killed him, it was like, wait, so Peter doesn't meet Norman Osborn, or we don't see Peter meeting Norman Osborn at all in this universe? This universe, Norman's not a big character? What? They just kill him? Horrible. And why would you cast Chris Cooper, who's a great actor, to just kill him after one scene? He's in it for one scene. You know what? We're going to take a shot. We're going to take a shot over the dumb decision to kill off Norman Osborn after one scene. All right? Yeah, we're going to take a shot to that. Whew. Man. And so now Norman is telling Harry that he too is going to have this disease. It's going to come after you, blah, blah, blah. This is your future. This is who you are. Yeah, yeah. What's weird is that Norman supposedly had this disease for years. I almost think decades. Because he had been working with Dr. Connors to try to look for a cure. And it took years for the symptoms to get this bad for him, right? It took him years to get this sick. And then when Harry gets the disease, it feels like it's just a couple of weeks where he already gets sick. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. James Franco was a better Harry, but the worst Goblin. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna give the award for worst Goblin to Dane DeHaan. There you see Norman's finger, his long sharp nails. I guess. Yeah, this was such a weird choice. I thought William Dafoe as Norman was awesome and creepy altogether. I agree. I agree. Willem Dafoe was great. Oh, so Peter is sending an email to Mr. Jameson. It's pictures of Spider-Man. Jameson quickly writes back and says wrong. Because he doesn't like the pictures, I guess. Now, it's kind of funny that J.K. Simmons was so good as J. Jonah Jameson that the Amazing Spider-Man movies didn't even attempt to recast him. Hey, what's up, Caleb? They didn't even attempt to recast Jameson. They just said, you know what? We're going to have this email scene, and that's going to be the only bit of Jameson that we get. It's like, well, all right. I guess there's that. Do you think Dane DeHaan could have played Peter Parker? I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it's possible, but he maybe it's because of Chronicle. He just always kind of strikes me as a creepy dude. So I don't know, but maybe he could have pulled it off. I don't. It's hard to tell. So yeah, it's official. It's on the TV that Norman Osborn died, which dumb choice. Ryan from The Office just told Max to stay after work, even though it's his birthday. Ryan from The Office is gonna make Max stay and do this shit. I will admit that's pretty fucked up. I would I would purposely make sure that I took my birthday off. If they treated me like shit on my birthday like this, use your personal day. Call out sick. Like, but the problem with Max Dillon is that he has no friends. What's he gonna do other than, like, this is the only human interaction he probably gets other than his mom, right? So he has to go to work to get that, I guess. I don't know. Oh, the guy. You're talking about Dane DeHaan. You think he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio? Yeah, he looks like maybe Hollywood tried to clone Leonardo DiCaprio, but they didn't get it quite right, and so Dane DeHaan was their kind of Leo clone. The last movie I saw Dane DeHaan in was that. What was that movie with him and Cara Delevingne? Terrible movie. Valerian or some said shit. Yeah, I didn't care for that either. So I don't know. Dane DeHaan needs to be in something good, quick. All right, I'm gonna take a shot for the dumb origin of Electro. So Max just got electrocuted, and he just fell into the tank, and he's being bitten by eels, electric eels. And okay, why does the electric eels fix the gap in his teeth? They made it such a point to do a close up of his teeth coming back together. Like, why? Why? So I'm taking a shot for that, for the stupidity. The electricity fixed the gap in his teeth. Yeah. Let's make sense of that, can we? Shall we? So we're gonna take a shot for that. All right. Electricity fixing gap in your teeth. All right. So Dane DeHaan, I don't know how old he's supposed to be. If he's the same age as Peter, and Peter just graduated high school, I'm gonna assume he's maybe 18, and he's already going to step in to 20-year old. Oh, so has it been 2 years since Peter graduated, or why is why did Peter just graduate high school, but Harry's 2 years? Is Harry 2 years older? I fucking know. Who fucking knows, man? Yeah, but Harry just said that he's 20 years old. I don't know. Oh, hey, it's Felicia. Yeah, that would have been nice. I would have liked to have seen Harry have the waves in his hair like in the 90s cartoon. So they purposely don't say Felicia Hardy, but come on. She's Felicia Hardy. Felicity Jones. I do like this actress a lot. I loved her in Rogue One. Um, I mean, she's been in a bunch of stuff, but that's the first thing I think of. And I would love to have seen Felicity Jones as Black Cat. It sucks that like we had a good actress cast as Felicia Hardy, but we just never get there. I hope that they bring her back. Um, I hope that they bring Felicity Jones back if they ever do a Felicia Hardy thing, or if they do a spin-off, multiverse spin-off of her as Black Cat. I would very much enjoy that. Oh, there's Peter Parker. It's been 10 years. Okay. Harry said it's been 10 years. Peter said it's been 8 years. So maybe Harry doesn't even know how old he is. Maybe Harry is 18, but he just said he's 20 because he's so fucking. I do like that Peter is trying to. He saw on the news that Norman Osborn died, and he says, "Hey, you were there for me when my parents disappeared." Granted, they were very, very young. I even talked about in the last stream how they're so different people now that it's kind of like okay, but I do like the sentiment. I do like that Peter is trying to be there for him the way that he was there for him. Uh, and I do like that Harry was a little wary as far as like, you're coming back into my life now. I just got this position at Oscorp. He was wary of Peter, but he opened up. here they're talking about their braces, and now this is the one moment where you're like, okay, I could buy them as old friends. I think Andrew especially is selling it very well. The way how he just went up to hug him. Um, the problem is that we need more time. This should have happened in the first film. When I said in the Amazing Spider-Man live stream that the first hour of that movie is wasted by redoing the origin and redoing Uncle Ben's death. If instead we had the Harry Osborn stuff, if we had this stuff of Peter and Harry Osborn, same scenario if you want, of them reconnecting, them coming back together, them bonding, having more scenes like this of them hanging out and Harry just being there for him, and then carry that over to the second movie, and then that's when shit happens. Come on, it writes itself. But what do you want to do here, I'm just a dude that watches these movies. What the fuck do I know? To be honest, Amazing Spider-Man is way better than this. One more entertaining and have better scores. Suit and well, I think the suit and the score in this movie is better. And I think this movie is shot better because, like you said, it's more colorful. It's more daytime scenes, but I guess the writing of the first movie is better. It's structured better, you know. If I take out my dislike of the origin, you're gonna be wasted tonight. But yeah, you're probably right, man. You're probably right. If I drink every time something stupid happens, or if I take a shot every time something stupid happens in this movie, I'm gonna be sloshed. Peter just threw the rock. I like Andrew's delivery there of it's just in the wrist, man. It's all in the wrist, buddy. Um, Andrew is Andrew is giving a performance that this movie does not deserve. Andrew is good, and it sucks that I don't think people realize how good of an actor he is because they crap on his movies or favorite Andrew Garfield movie. Uh, uh, I didn't like the look of the lizard. Me neither. I hated the look of the lizard. I thought he looked terrible. You know what? I never saw Hacksaw Ridge. I never saw Hacksaw Ridge. Social Network. All right, yeah. I'll say Social Network. Although I've heard really good things about Hacksaw Ridge, so I wouldn't be surprised if I saw that film if that is actually his best movie. Um, oh, look it's Electro's dead body in the morgue, and he's going to wake up. Man, I do not like the way Electro is handled in this film, man. I just don't like how he looks. Ugh. And he's using his electricity to. It's almost like what telekinesis with the electricity that he's manipulating the tool there. The dubstep, yeah, I hate that very much too. The dubstep score that they gave Electro, man, does that. I'm pretty sure that was outdated by the time this movie came out. Never mind now. If Willem Dafoe wasn't coming back as Norman Osborn, man, I don't know. That's tough. Norman Osborn is such a hard character to cast right, and he's an important character that I almost hope they just keep Willem, you know, to be the MCU Green Goblin. Just keep him around. Yes, I agree. Electro does look like he looks like a lamer Doctor Manhattan. Dennis Quaid Uh, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's, but Dennis Quaid is a lot more over the top now. Like in his more like if you saw The Intruder, that movie, I think that came out last year. Like he's so crazy now. I don't know. Maybe it was just that one movie. That's just the last image I have of Dennis Quaid in my head right now. Dylan Walsh would have been a good pick from The Stepfather to play Norman Osborn. Okay, I know who you're talking about. I do like this scene. Um, Peter asked Gwen to meet her, and they're deciding to just be friends. But the way she looks at him, it's like she still has feelings for him. The way she smiles at him, and the way he's looking at her, it's like their chemistry is oozing off of the screen. Dylan Walsh as Electro. This I do, yeah. See, I do like him talking about her laugh and him saying how like she needs to stop laughing like that because it's too cute. And she's great. Emma Stone is great. Emma Stone might be the best love interest in any superhero movie. I know that's a big thing to say, and I'm just saying it right now in the spot, in the moment. But as likable as Emma Stone is, um, Emma Stone is the wifey. Yeah, Emma Stone is whoever gets to marry her is one lucky dude. I will say that. Because not only is her character likable, but she's also smart. She's intelligent. She's proactive. Yes, yes. Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy is better than Mary Jane and even MJ Zendaya. I just think Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy is perfect. Is she married? Emma Stone's married? Well, good for whoever that dude is. Lucky you. All right, here we go. Here's the moment. Here's the moment where Electro is going to ruin their friend date. Have I seen Cruella? Yes, I have. I reviewed it on my channel. Go check it out. I did not love the movie, but even the title of my review, the the title of the review says Emma Stone saved this movie. So yeah, she was the best part of that film. She has one child. Wow. Huh. That's very interesting because I watched a video yesterday, or was it? Yeah, yesterday on YouTube that said that the reason why Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone broke up in real life is because he wanted to settle down, get married, and have kids, but she wasn't ready to do that. She wanted to still act. She won the Oscar for La La Land, and you're telling me that now she's married and has a kid? It's like, man, fuck. Andrew Garfield must be sitting like, what the fuck? I wanted to marry you and have a kid, and we break up, and then you go and do that with some other dude. That sucks. Oh, and speaking of Emma Stone breaking our hearts, she got a scholarship to Oxford, she'd say, and she has to go to England, right? So I will say this: even though the trailers very much hinted at, and you could argue they spoiled the death of Gwen Stacy. The trailers definitely were like, oh, here's her falling, clock tower, Green Goblin, it's gonna happen. But the thing is, there was one TV spot that showed her falling, and then it showed Peter save her. Like Peter webbed her. Now, of course, they edited that, right? Because he doesn't save her, but they edited it to make it look like he saved her. And so I saw that TV spot and thought, oh shit, maybe, maybe she won't die. And so while I was watching this movie the first time in theaters, I thought maybe they do just have her go to England, and maybe that's how they have them break up, and then maybe that's how they'll tease that they'll kill her. But because we love Emma Stone so much, because she's so likable, maybe they didn't want to kill her. But I saw an interview where Emma Stone said that a big reason why she took this role is because she wanted to do the death of Gwen Stacy. She wanted to play a love interest that died, because she said, it not only does it not happen that often in superhero movies, but she wanted to tell that story of the like Peter's first love dying and him feeling guilty about it. And she said she also just liked Gwen as a character. So Emma Stone was committed to killing Gwen Stacy. All right, here we have the scene in Times Square. Uh, Electro is freaking everybody out. The cops are all surrounding him. He's trying to tell everybody, please, I'm not evil. He sees himself on the screen. He now sees what he looks like, I guess, even though he should see how his hands are all fucking. Just, he looks like shit, guys. I'm sorry. I make you feel bad for Andrew? Oh, what? But because of him wanting to marry Emma Stone and her not doing it, but then marrying some other dude? Yeah, it's fucked up, isn't it? I mean, supposedly they're still good friends. Supposedly. So, I don't know. Alright. Spider-Man just grabbed that cop car and saved the cop. Ah, interesting. He's dissolving bullets? I do like seeing how strong Spider-Man is, the way how he just threw that cop car off like nothing. You know what sucks is that this Spider-Man suit looks so fucking good. It's so good. I have very much nostalgic feelings towards the Tobey Spider-Man suit, but looking at this suit here, I am loving this suit right now. I can't. It's how big the eyes are. Tom Holland's suit has a huge advantage over the fact that his eyes at least move and squint and do all that stuff. But I do like how this suit looks. The big eyes is scary. Yeah, if we do see Andrew Garfield back, I do hope that he has this suit. Gwen made this suit for him? You think so? I don't remember. Did they say that? Did I miss that? Okay, so we're about to take another shot here because I hate this moment that's coming up. So Spider-Man is talking him down, which I like. And I do like how he's saying, this is my buddy Max. He's saying, I remember you, Max. They didn't explain the new suit. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But maybe Shadow Bear's, his theory is that Gwen made it for him. That would be cool. That'd be a cool theory. If, like, maybe she was like, hey, I want, like, I have some ideas on your suit. And, because otherwise they don't explain why It was changed, right? Oh, the game mentions that Gwen makes the suit. Okay. I forgot that. Great. The web shooters just got ruined. One of the cops shot at Electro. Spidey! Spidey! These people are stupid. I'm sorry. And then Electro's gonna get mad because the crowd is chanting for Spider-Man. And the screens change to Spider-Man, and so he's gonna get mad here. This is awful. I get that Electro is a villain. I get that he's the bad guy. I get that you have to have him become a bad guy. But they did it in such a lame way. For Max to go from I'm this obsessed with Spider-Man to then I hate you, Spider-Man, doesn't make any fucking sense. We're taking a shot over how dumb it was that Electro now hates Spider-Man. Really quick before I take the shot, I will say that I like this Spidey Sense scene of Spider-Man. Reminds me of the Sam Raimi Spidey Sense moment, right? Of him seeing all the people on the steps, and he's going to try to stop the electricity from touching the poles, and he's going to try to save these people as much. He's stop the car. He's going to stop these people from touching the electric poles. I do like that. Although the extras reactions, right? Them looking at Spider-Man like, "Oh, thanks, buddy. You saved my life." I mean, it's that they just have the goofiest smile on their face. Um, So yeah, we're taking a shot over the forced and contrived Electro hate Spider-Man moment. Oh, very forced. I can't see where the Shailene Woodley scenes are supposed to take place. Oh, hey, yeah, we can talk about that. Shailene Woodley was supposed to play Mary Jane in this film. She was cast, and they shot like 2 scenes with her. So it's not like a rumor. It's not like she was cast for the third movie, but then the third movie got canceled. Like, no, she was cast for this movie, and yeah, kind of bizarre to think about. But I noticed in the background you see a poster from Mamma Mia. What a way to end or to date this film, huh? Amazing Spider-Man 3 can happen. It's not happening. It's not happening. The closest we'll get to an Amazing Spider-Man 3 is they if they do a Miles Morales movie and if they use Andrew Garfield as the Peter to mentor Miles. But we're not getting an Andrew Garfield standalone movie. We'll only get, if we get it, a Tobey Maguire standalone movie. Here you have a shot of Spider-Man using the hose and spraying Electro down with the hose, kind of making it almost too easy to defeat him, right? It's like, oh, you just spray him with water and he's easily defeated. Okay, interesting, cool, cool. And he goes back to Gwen and says, England, really? As there's explosions behind him. That's pretty funny. I do kind of like that. Even through all the craziness, the stuff with Gwen is still like first thing on his mind. What do you think of Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock in the Venom movie? I do not like his Venom Eddie Brock. I think he's too silly and goofy, and I don't like it. Shailene Woodley should be in No Way Home. Technically, Shailene Woodley as Mary Jane is not canon, so all right, here you have the moment. All right, I might have to take a shot at this scene. This is the scene where they're playing some whatever teen pop music that they play when Peter is feeling sad about Gwen. I don't love when movies. Yeah, he puts his headphones on and he's gonna listen to this very 2000s y song. Um, yeah, I don't care for it. It's just not only does it date the movie, but it makes the movie feel like he's doing lightning puns like Mr. Freeze and Batman. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot during this because I don't like this music. For you, for you, or whatever the hell the lyrics are. Do you guys know the song I'm talking about? Definitely like, hey, we're trying to sell a soundtrack. And I know Toby Toby Maguire Spider-Man had Nickelback. I know. But let's be honest. Not only is that song better, the hero song not only is better, but it didn't come off as forced as Gone, Gone, Gone by Philip Phillips. Okay, wow. I never would have guessed that that was the name of the song or the person who sings it. But thank you for that. Thank you for the Nickelback is fire. All right. So look at Harry is already having his neck like get all fucked up. Like I don't get why the disease is so much faster on Harry than it was for his father. It once again, it took years, if not decades, for his father to get that bad. Where Harry is like, what, a couple days later, he's already getting all rashed up and shit. And here you're establishing that they had some prototype suits, but okay, now you're seeing Dr. Connors and Norman Osborn. They were working together. Not Dr. Connors, sorry, Richard Parker. My bad. I was actually thinking it would make more sense if it was Dr. Connors working there with him. And you saw Norman Osborn was already on a cane. So, like I said, decades it must have been where he was feeling sick. Okay, here you have the scene. I always do like seeing Andrew Garfield be a scientist, be smart. He's trying to make the electric webbing, which are in the PS5 Spider Man game. So I do like that. I do like seeing him try to figure this out. I think it's Gwen that helps him figure out the electric webbing, right? Because every battery he uses is blowing up. That scene's funny. You can tell that was just Andrew with the fire extinguisher pointing at the battery. He tried to web his phone and he webbed the crowbar. And apparently hit him in the head instead. Okay, so we're about to take another shot. I feel like I've already taken 5 shots because every time something dumb happens in the plot, I take a shot. All right, Harry is telling Peter that he's dying because the disease for Harry works 4 times as fast as when Norman had it. Because think about it. If Norman was working with Peter's father, Peter's father left when Peter was how old? Right? So it's been at least 10 years, if not more, that Norman had that disease. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's worse, Gone, Gone, Gone by Philip Phillips in this movie or Bring Me to Life? I will say this movie, this song, because I actually like the Bring Me to Life Evanescence song. Granted, it's a very similar situation where it's just them selling a song on their soundtrack. I will admit that, but I think the Evanescence song is better. So, all right. So this whole plot of Harry Osborne needing Spider-Man's blood because he thinks it may cure him. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this plot at all. And I know you're putting Peter in a weird spot, a weird situation, because he he doesn't want. I guess it's for a couple of reasons. If he gives him his blood, I'm gonna be drunk by the end of this movie. By the end of it, I'm probably gonna be drunk before Gwen dies. I'm probably gonna be like, "Woo! Look at Gwen fall! Woo!" But he doesn't want to give Harry his blood because, for one, Harry's going to be able to figure out that Spider-Man's blood is also Peter's blood. So, oh, Peter's Spider-Man. So that's one thing. Another thing is that he doesn't know what Spider-Man's blood will do to Harry. Maybe it'll make him worse. Maybe it'll turn him into a fucking spider creature. So I get that, but I probably would have preferred either we don't do this plot at all, or you do something where, you know, Harry figures out another way to get his blood, and maybe it is his blood that does turn him into the goblin. And so, because as it stands, we don't know. Maybe his blood would have helped him. Maybe his blood would have cured him, right? Maybe he could have saved Harry's life. And if he did save Harry's life, it would have stopped him from ever becoming the Goblin. Um, his hand shaking there. It'd be better if maybe Spider-Man something happened. He got into a fight with Electro. Some of his blood was on the ground, and Harry sees the blood and says, "Oh shit, I'm gonna take this blood." He takes the blood from the ground, and he takes the blood, puts it inside him, and that's what turns him into the Goblin. So at least it would confirm why Peter was nervous to give him the blood, and that he was right not to give him the blood because look at what it did to him. I think that would have made more sense. I think that would have been better. But once again, what the fuck do I know? All right, Gwen is being chased by some dudes at Oscorp, I guess. People who they know something about, or she was looking up something she wasn't supposed to, whatever the fuck was going on. And now Peter and Gwen are in a closet. Trapped in the closet. And you know what happens when you're trapped in the closet with a hot chick? Huh? Huh? You guys remember spin the bottle, 5 minutes in bliss or whatever the fuck? 5 minutes in heaven. Um, I do like that Peter tells Gwen everything. Like now that we're past the point where Gwen knows that he's Spider-Man, I do like that she's the one person that he can go to tell about Harry wanting the blood. It's 7 minutes in hell. Oh, is it? It's not. It's not 5 minutes in heaven. It's 7 minutes in hell. Why do people not like making out in closets anymore? Is that not a thing? Do kids not do that anymore? Well, they're making out. There they are. Moi moi. I gotta be honest. How could you not kiss Gwen Stacy when you're that close to her, or Emma Stone when you're that close to her? And it's like, yes, instinct would be to kiss her. Absolutely. In fact, can we just clone Emma Stone? Can we do that? Is that a thing? Uh oh. That's funny. That's good shit. So Peter is trying to distract all of these guys. And see, this is similar to the train scene, but he's doing it on purpose. And that's the difference. He just tied the guy's shoes. He poured coffee on the other guy. He just clicked his feet together. That was great. That was great. And that's an example of that scene is so much better than the train scene when he was being that goofy and over the top by accident. And I just thought it was too much. Where that was better. Much better. It was funny. It was actually funny. Here's a creepy moment where Harry Osborne meets Gwen Stacy in the because he just so happened to be in the elevator too. Okay. And he knows who she is, right? Because Peter mentioned Gwen Stacy to him. I'm trying to figure out if he like what is Harry's the way how he's staring at her. Like, is he thinking about like I can do something to make him? He does look like DiCaprio a lot in that elevator scene. I can't deny that. He has some uh, Man in the Iron Mask DiCaprio vibes. Ravencroft. This is the first time that we get Ravencroft in a Spider-Man film in live action. I mean, you could argue that Lizard might be in Ravencroft in the end credits scene of Amazing Spider-Man, but we never saw the name. This is the first time we see the name Ravencroft, and I think Ravencroft is in Venom. He's thinking how much Gwen reminds him of Mary Jane from high school. Who, Harry's thinking that? I don't think they've met Mary Jane yet. No, we can talk about that. Mary Jane, so Shailene Woodley was cast as Mary Jane, and apparently there were supposed to be two scenes with Mary Jane in this film. And I saw the set pictures. The scenes themselves were never released to the public, right? They're not on DVD. They're not as deleted scenes. I can't find them online, but I've seen the pictures. And so there was supposed to be a scene where, and I assume maybe, I don't know if she went to high school with them. I don't know how she knows Peter, but apparently she goes to his house to talk to him, but he's not home or something. And Gwen stops by, and Gwen runs into Mary Jane, and the two of them have a quick like interaction, and it's sort of a civil interaction. But Gwen's definitely like, "Who's this chick? Who's this hot redhead who's trying to talk to my ex boyfriend or whatever, current boyfriend, whatever they are?" And then her second scene is after Gwen dies. Um, Mary Jane goes to Peter's house and checks on him to see how he's doing because obviously he's sad, he's depressed, and I think he talks to Mary Jane like outside of his apartment, the same way that the same area where Gwen talked to Peter after her father's funeral in the last movie. They have the same. But yeah, both scenes were cut because that's the one moment that Mark Webb decided was too much stuff going on, in this movie, so let's cut her out and save her for Amazing Spider-Man 3. That never happened. Yeah, it sucks. I agree that it would have been too much for this movie. This movie did have too much going on already, but I do want to see what those scenes were like. I do wish we got to see what those scenes were like because I am curious. And yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm not caring for this scene right here. Ravencroft, Electro is sort of being whatever this guy is doing to Electro. He's torturing him. He's putting him in the water. Mark Webb has only directed 3 movies. Yeah, 500 Days of Summer was his first film, and then these 2 movies. And I don't think he's done another movie since Amazing Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2 might have killed his career. If that's too much, so what about No Way Home? Well, the difference with No Way Home is that they've planned this out. This is much better planned because it's in the hands of Kevin Feige and the MCU. Sony clearly didn't know what the fuck they were doing. You can't trust Sony with doing 5 different plots at the same time. You can't. Marvel has shown with films like Captain America Civil War, Avengers, Infinity War, they've proved that they can have a movie with multiple characters, multiple storylines, multiple side plots, and it comes together because they do the work, because they make you invested in the right ways. Sony doesn't know how to do shit right unless it's Into the Spider-Verse or um, they try too hard to catch up to Marvel and Avengers with this movie especially. You could tell this movie is trying too much. They're trying to build up the Sinister Six. They're trying to do the Harry Osborne becomes Green Goblin plot. They're trying to have the Electro as the villain. They're trying to have Peter find out about his parents and his father. They're trying to do the death of Gwen Stacy. It's like, fuck, it's like if Marvel MCU was doing this, it would work because they know how to do it. But Sony, they get overwhelmed. Um, this is a good scene. Aunt May, Sally Field, who, like I said before, does not get enough credit and enough praise. She's giving a hell of a performance right now. She's visibly upset that Peter is as obsessed with finding out about um, his parents. She kind of wants him to be just content and happy with what she's done to raise him. And she doesn't want him to chase something that might disappoint him or might, you know. Oh, what other movies did Mark Webb direct? Yes, I did read that Kevin Feige gave Sony notes on this movie, and Amy Pascal apparently was like, fuck that. Like, I don't want to hear your shit. She didn't want to hear his notes, apparently, and she told him to fuck off. But that's my point, though. Feige was willing to work with them for Andrew Garfield's movies. Feige, when he didn't have to, he wasn't working for Sony. He just cared about Spider-Man. He cared about the character enough to say, hey, I have some thoughts on how to make this movie better. So, there you go. So, Aunt May is telling Peter that she doesn't know much about what his father was doing. Gifted with Chris Evans and The Only Living Boy. Oh, okay. I've heard of Gifted, but I haven't heard of the other movie. Interesting. Well, hey, good for him. At least he's still out there doing shit. Kevin Feige is 48 years old. Hey, he's been around a long time. He's been producing. He was one of the producers on the original X-Men movie. So Kevin Feige's been around for a long time. Um, Andrew Garfield is in MCU and Tony didn't. Oh, okay, so you have Spider-Man coming to meet Harry Osborne. This is kind of a weird scene. Look at Harry Osborne's already like he has the shit on his neck, his eyes are all discolored. He's already showing signs of this disease. I don't understand how this disease works. I don't. I'm like I don't I don't know. I don't know why it works like this. He's drinking. Why is he drinking? Because either he's 18 or he's 20. Either way, he's underage. But who gives a shit? So, see, Spider-Man just said, if our blood isn't compatible, then you could die. And Harry says, I'm already fucking dying, dude. Like, what are you talking about? So again, he kind of calls Spider-Man out on that bullshit. You know, like what? How how much worse is Harry right now? Toby's trilogy was standalone. That's why it's the best. That's a fair point. It is cool that we have three Spider-Man movies that aren't connected to any other universe or any other characters or doesn't have anybody else coming in and doing stuff. But I think that's also what makes the Tom Holland movies so special is because it is the one set of Spider-Man films that is connected and that does have Iron Man, does have Tom Holland's movies feel like a Marvel comic book because other heroes can come in. We don't know if they're the same blood type. That I guess that's the problem. You're a fraud, Spider-Man. We're gonna take a shot because that scene was bad. The whole Harry Osborn needs his blood and Spider-Man won't give it to him. Again, I understand why Spider-Man won't give it to him. I just feel like it was handled very poorly. That moment of Andrew Garfield swinging by a web and like right behind Gwen and hitting the wall is fucking hilarious. Because he's clearly trying to rush to catch her before her Oxford interview here. But yeah, I'm taking a shot over the dumb side plot of Harry Osborn and his whole disease. I need Spider-Man's blood. Please give me your blood. Disease bullshit. We're taking a shot because that's a stupid plot. Ugh. All right. Here you go. I can respect Peter fighting for Gwen right now. I know that he was having his guilt, he was having his whole stuff. I know that he, but the prospect of losing Gwen, like fully losing her, as far as her leaving the country, I know you could argue that this is selfish of him, that he's trying to prevent her from furthering her career. This is actually a really good opportunity. And actually, if he let her go, she would still be alive. So there's that. But I can sympathize, I can empathize, and I can appreciate him fighting for her. Because when you're in love, you tend to do things that could come off as selfish, but to you, you know, it helps that Andrew sells this so well because otherwise he can come off as a very selfish Peter Parker. Um, Amazing Spider-Man 2 was one of the last superhero movies that didn't have forced political agenda. I don't know. So now he's ripping off all the stuff from his wall, all the stuff of the pictures of Gwen, the parents, the mystery shit, destroying everything. Throws the calculator, and that's where you see the coins. So we might need to take another shot, and I know I'm taking a lot of shots right now, so maybe I should pace myself a lot better. But the whole idea of his father having this underground railroad rail railroad. I've only had a few shots, don't. But the idea of his father having this underground railroad road, you know, office or whatever the fuck you want to call this, Roosevelt subway station. I think it's kind of stupid. um, it's weird that Peter doesn't have the skateboard anymore. Yeah, I guess he outgrew that, didn't he? I guess that was just a phase that Peter was going through. You could tell. You could. This movie is so painfully obvious that Mark Webb and Sony took all of the criticisms that people had of the first film and tried to make people happy, as far as the suit, as far as him not skateboarding anymore, and as far as I believe they were gonna milk the parents' secret stuff for at least till the third movie, but they realized that people didn't give as much of a shit about the parents' secret stuff, so they did it all in this film to get it out of the way and get it over with. Like, all right, fine, let's get rid of the parents' mystery and let's do it all in the second movie. All right, here you have a scene of Felicia Hardy talking to Harry Osborne, and she's telling him about leftover venom from spiders. The spiders that bit Peter. I guess they took some of the venom out before they destroyed all the spiders. Now, how do you guys feel about Felicia Hardy being a brunette instead of a blonde? Only reason why I don't mind it is because isn't it kind of silly that Felicia Hardy is blonde, but then when she puts the black cat wig on, it's just a little lighter than her actual hair. Like she doesn't look all that different. It actually would make more sense for her to be brunette, and then she puts on a blonde wig or a. I know it's white hair, but it would almost make a little more sense for her to be brunette and then put on blonde or a white wig so that it's completely different looking. Was Captain Stacy? Yes, Captain Stacy was played by Dennis Leary. We had two shots of Dennis Leary at the beginning of this movie. It's pretty much we don't talk about Captain Stacy again after that, you know. Why? Because there's too much shit going on right now. Now, this is interesting. This is a moment where Harry Osborne is actually pissed at his own company because he just found out that Max died on the job, but the story was buried and he wasn't aware of it. Yeah, I guess maybe it's because Gwen is blonde, so maybe they wanted to make Felicia a brunette. I guess that's fair. And she's not Black Cat yet. If she became Black Cat in the second movie, I guess she could have dyed her hair blonde and then still put the white wig on. I guess. So I guess Harry Osborn just got ousted from his own company. I guess. Um, and oh, Peter is in the. I was gonna say the subway again, but no, yeah. I get it. I get that some people might want to know what the deal is with Peter Parker's parents. I get why these movies felt the need to focus on that more so than the Toby movie or the Tom Holland movie. This movie wanted to be different and focus on a backstory of Peter's that was different. I get it. I get it. I get it. In concept, I like the theory. I just feel like in execution, I don't give a shit. Remember the Silver and Black movie set? Yeah, right. We were supposed to get a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. That's what I was talking about. Sony wanted to make that. I wonder if they wanted Felicity Jones to come back. I wonder if that was like the plan, you know? Um, and as dumb as I thought that was at first, after playing the Spider Man PS5 game, I very much liked Silver Sable in that game. So I kind of want to see how she would be in a film, but I also don't know if I trust Sony to pull that off, to pull off a movie like that off. It would be so much more satisfying was if Marvel Disney did the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, and then if they introduced all of these characters in his films, like Venom, like Black Hat, if they got introduced in a Tom Holland movie first and then spun off to do their own films, I don't like how Sony is doing these villain movies first, like Morbius or which Green Goblin you think was scarier, Willem Dafoe or the Leonardo DiCaprio lookalike? I like how that's what we're calling Dane DeHaan now, the Leonardo DiCaprio lookalike. Who do I think looked scarier? I mean, I guess Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin looked creepier just because he wasn't wearing a mask, right? But I also think he looked stupid. So like when I say creepier, like yeah, in concept because it was his actual face becoming distorted as opposed to Willem wearing a mask. But I think Willem did a better job being like his acting, a better job of being evil and sinister and crazy. Penelope Cruz as Silver Sable. I don't hate that. I will take Penelope Cruz any which way, shape, or form. So there you go. All right, so let's take a shot over the idea that Richard Parker had an office, a secret office in the subway tracks underground. What? All right, that was dumb. Shot. All right, Harry Osborne just took out two guards to sneak into Ravencroft because I guess he wants to break Electro out. I know that ultimately he's just going to use Electro, but I like the idea that when he found out that this guy died in his building and it was kind of covered up, I like that he legitimately looked pissed about it. So if Harry Osborn actually cared about Electro and actually wanted to help him in some way, I think that would have been interesting as far as a villain team up. But we know that he's just using him, so it's just like whatever the fuck. Once again, Andrew Garfield's giving a really good performance in a movie that doesn't deserve it. He's sitting there watching the video of his son, and he's in tears right now because he's hearing his father talk about how much he loves his son and how much he thinks his son will do good, and he's explaining all of the quote bad stuff that people think he's done. It's a good scene because of Andrew's acting, but now see when he was supposed to be playing hide and seek with his son, he was actually in the basement recording a video for his future son, or like you know what I mean. It's kind of it's like if you think about it, it doesn't make a fucking lick of sense at all. But whatever. Psst. Harry Osborne trying to wake Electro up. Psst. Harry Osborne wants to make Electro a deal. And I feel like this scene is just very like whatever, you know. Harry Osborne meets Electro. Electro says, "I should kill you." Harry Osborne says, "No, dude, you don't want to kill me. You want to kill Spider-Man, and I could give you Spider-Man." It's that typical villain team up conversation where it doesn't really make sense, but hey, we're gonna work together because, like, why does Electro hate Spider-Man even though he used to be obsessed with him? I don't fucking know. Because the news cameras changed their channels to Spider-Man in Times Square. Really? And Harry Osborn, I guess Harry has a legit reason to not like Spider-Man as far as the whole blood thing goes. But, and you could argue that it's the disease that's making Harry Osborn act like such a fucking dick. But because we didn't know Harry all that well, we only got like one scene of Harry and Peter as friends. Once again, if we had the first film with them as friends, we at least could have gotten a lot more out of him. And so his turn to being bad, at least we would be able to say a lot more like, "Oh yeah, Harry's not like this. This must be the disease that's making him act like this." But once again, we don't really know Harry, so for all we know, Harry could be a complete fucking dickhead. Oh, here we have the Dr. Manhattan moment where Electro reforms himself after he just killed all of these Ravencroft people. That was definitely a Dr. Manhattan moment. I want to kill the spider. You want to kill the spider together? He doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, exactly. At least Electro isn't completely naked with his blue dick hanging out like Dr. Manhattan, right? At least Jamie Foxx has black shorts on it. You want to be my friend? I thought we were already friends. I had a friend once. It didn't work out. Yeah. And Harry says, "Me too." So then let's go catch a spider. See, that dialogue is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Um, you know, there is a better version of that, or there should be a better version to that. The idea of Harry feeling betrayed by Spider-Man and Electro feeling betrayed by Spider-Man, and that being the thing that brings them two together. In concept, it works, but execution-wise, no. Peter is listening to a voicemail of Gwen Stacy saying that I got into Oxford and I'm actually on my way there now. She's in a cab. I mean, fuck. She's not even going to say bye to this fucking dude. Again, Peter should have let her go because she'd still be alive. And you could argue that Peter's being selfish by going to the bridge and using the web to say I love you in order to keep her to say, "Hey, Kale, what's up, man?" Oh, Electro just killed some random dude at Oscorp. And yeah, I don't like the way Electro looks here. This weird like X-Men suit that he's wearing. This like dark blue leather suit that he's wearing. I don't like it. Yeah, man. Uh, I do feel like this is where the movie falls off a cliff. Like, the movie wasn't great before this, but it at least had some cool stuff to it. It at least had the Peter and Gwen stuff and some decent action. But I feel like story wise, the movie falls apart right now. This is a fun idea of Harry wanting to fuck with this Oscorp guy, and uh, Electro killed the guy, but then they said clear, and he gave him that like electric shock to wake him back up, so that they can like re-kill him again. Again, decent idea. I just wish it was in the better movie. Um, Electro just completely turned himself into electricity to go into the plug. I don't know. All right, here we're gonna have. Are we gonna see? This is where Harry is about to find the goblin suit and the glider. Are we gonna see the other stuff? Yep, the Doctor Octopus arms. We just saw that. It's kind of weird that that's just sitting in like the basement of Oscorp. Do you guys like the idea of Oscorp being the source of all of the villains' technology? Like you see Doctor Octopus's tentacles there. You see the Vulture's wings. Obviously, the glider, which at least that makes sense. The glider for Green Goblin. Okay, he's gonna inject himself with. I don't know what that's. He thinks that's gonna cure him, but doesn't it make him worse? Okay, you're seeing the veins in his neck get all fucked up. Yeah, this is where Harry Osborne loses me. This is where I don't. He's mutating and he's contorting and he's all. I guess he's turning into a goblin. His the nails are growing. His back is morphing. Oh, and there's the goblin suit. There it is with the glider. It's almost like a gallery of all of the Spider-Man villains is fucking equipment and suits and shit all in one area. I'm pretty sure this is also where the Rhino suit is. It's somewhere down here. So yeah, I don't love Oscorp being the source of everything. I can understand the Goblin stuff. Okay, fine. Even the Rhino suit, if you're going for the big mechanical Rhino suit, which I know some people don't love, but I also don't know how you do the giant skin tight Rhino suit like in live action without that looking silly as fuck. Um, oh, there it is. I love you in webbing on the bridge. Oh, it's very sweet. It's very nice. Believe me. It's kind of bizarre that like everybody in New York is seeing that and they think to themselves, "Oh wow, Spider-Man loves New York." Hey, only for someone to realize it actually probably means that he loves a particular person and he's not talking to us. Who knows? I don't know how New York will interpret that. All right, Spider-Man is telling Gwen, "I love you." You're on my path. I'm staying with you. I'm going to England with you. It's a nice moment because you're basically seeing that Peter is willing to give up New York, give up his life here, give up his New York responsibilities to be with Gwen. I like that because you know Gwen's about to die. So I like the idea that Gwen was his forever girl, right? Gwen was his life. Gwen was he would have married her, you know. Um, and he goes, they got crime in England, right? I can fight crime in England, right? They got Jack the Ripper. They haven't caught they haven't caught him yet, right? Again, I buy that being improv. You know, like that. That's how good these two are together. Besides the part of Gwen Stacy dying, that's relationship goals right there. Just minus her death, of course. All right, here we go. Electro is reforming himself and taking out the power to most of the city. Damn. Can you imagine New York blacking out right now? Like the entire city? Oh, right. I forgot this. This is the part where they have the airplanes. They don't have connection with the tower, so planes are flying. It's like the plot of Die Hard 2, right? They planes don't know where to fucking go. They can't talk to them. Oh, here we go. That's the moment. This is the moment where Gwen is telling him. She's like, "Hey, remember our eighth grade project?" She's talking about the battery and the electric webbing, and she's telling him how to create the webbing to handle electricity. I like that Gwen is written so much better than Mary Jane was, and it's clearly the writing. Timothy Oliphant did the same in Die Hard 4, did he? I don't remember Die Hard 4 as much as I probably should. I like how Gwen is using the fact that her father was Captain Stacy to get this cop to help Spider-Man with jumper cables right now. Die Hard 3 is the best. Die Hard 3 is pretty damn good. And I would say that Die Hard 3 is the best Die Hard sequel that we've ever had. But Die Hard, the original, is still the best. For me, it's Die Hard 1, Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance, then Die Hard 2, then Die Hard 4, and then Die Hard 5. I love this moment. I love that moment. Peter tells Gwen to stay there, and he webs her hand to the car, and he takes off. And Gwen's like, Peter! And then she realizes that she said his name out loud. Because Gwen wouldn't say Spider-Man. She would say Peter. But then she realized that she shouldn't say his name. I like that moment. That was a very funny moment. This is stupid. Electro is like, do you see me now, Spider-Man? Spider-Man never neglected him. Spider-Man remembered him. Spider-Man said, I remember you, Max. He acknowledged him. Max doesn't have a good reason to hate Spider-Man right now. None of this hatred makes sense. Do you see me now? It would make sense if Peter was like, or Spider-Man was like, Max, I don't know who you are. Who are you? But no, he said, yeah, I remember you. You're my eyes and ears. Again. And I know they probably didn't want Spider-Man to look like a dick if he said, I don't know who the hell you are, but if you want to have him be offended by Spider-Man not remembering him, then you have to write it that way. Or you have to, I don't know, write a better excuse for Electro to hate Spider-Man. A god named Sparkles. Yeah, that's coming. All four are classics. Five didn't happen. I wouldn't say part four is a classic. But I do like the fact that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in the fourth one, playing his daughter. All right, here we have the epic showdown, between Electro and Spider-Man. I cannot wait to see how Electro looks in the new movie because of how much I don't. I'm glad I'm rewatching this because it's reminding me how much I don't like how he looks here. I don't even remember how does Electro beat, or how does Spider-Man beat Electro? Is it Gwen that beats him? Is it Gwen that like figures it out and does it? So yeah, his electricity did not ruin his web shooters. It's Gwen. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Electro not only with the yellow electricity, but the moment when he forms that star on his face. I can't wait to see that. I don't get why they made it blue. Like, why is he blue? I don't even get that choice. I almost feel like somebody at Sony saw Watchmen and said, I really like the way Dr. Manhattan looks. Let's make Electro look like that. Because it doesn't really, I don't know. So Spider-Man's getting his ass kicked by Electro right now. She said, really? You wed me to a car? And Peter's saying you shouldn't be here. And she says, I know how to help you. I know the system. I can do it. I love Gwen Stacy. Again, what she does here gets her killed. But I like the fact that she does not care. She knows that she can help. And she wants to help in order to stop the bad guy. I love that about her personality. She should not be there. I agree, she shouldn't. But I do appreciate how proactive she is. And I like how she's wearing the classic Gwen Stacy. Oh, we see Captain Stacy. A vision of him right there. Almost foreshadowing Gwen's future. I guess I like seeing Spider-Man's girlfriend be way more proactive and be intelligent enough to be able to do this. You could argue that Spider-Man might not be able to. Spider-Man might not have been able to beat Electro if not for Gwen. I agree. This fight isn't terrible. I might hate the way Electro looks, but the idea of Electro zooming from point to point because he's that fast with the electricity, and Spider-Man is basically just trying to evade him. Um, Ever watch Rob Zombie's El Super Beasto? I've never even heard of that movie. Fuck, what the hell is that? Is that new? Because I thought I've watched every Rob Zombie movie. Now, Gwen, now. Do it now. Oh! She reset it. Electro's being hit. He's being charged up. The city is being so Electro is being overloaded right now. And so they kill him, right? Yeah, yeah, he dies, right? I'm pretty sure Electro just died right there. So when Doctor Strange says in No Way Home that all of these villains die fighting Spider-Man, it's their fate. Um, Green Goblin died. Doctor Octopus died. Electro died. Venom died. Sandman didn't die. And Lizard didn't die. But I'm going to assume that Electro died. You can argue that maybe he didn't die because he's electricity. Maybe he just went somewhere. But it looks like he died. It looks like he blew up and exploded. And you see his charger. And the charger turns off. The power on the charger turns off. So it's like, well, I don't know. It looks like Electro died. Which, if you're somebody that feels bad for Max, oh, here we go. Harry Osborne, it just showed up. And he's laughing. It's... I do hate that this isn't Norman Osborn. He looks like shit. He looks terrible. Guys, I'm sorry, but Harry Osborn as Green Goblin looks like shit. People who crap on Willem Dafoe wearing the mask, and oh, the mask looks stupid. Dane DeHaan's goofy face with his teeth and his hair, it looks goofy. I don't like it. Does Harry... okay. So Harry does know that Peter is Spider... How did Harry figure out that Peter is Spider-Man? I missed that. Did he hear... Oh, because Gwen said Peter? Is that what happened? Oh. Well, there you go. Because Gwen... Oh, because Gwen's there. So he figured it out. Okay, alright. Isn't it funny how important Spider-Man's secret is? But I feel like every villain finds out that Peter is Spider-Man. Right? Like, almost every villain. Green Goblin, William Dafoe, Doc Ock, Venom, Lizard, and Harry Osborn, Green Goblin. They always find out. Gwen just said Harry, and Harry said Harry is dead. What? So, does Harry... Is this another, like, split personality thing where Harry's dead? What? No, dude, you're Harry. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, Pumpkin Bomb. I do like just the Pumpkin Bomb in general. You know, it's very classic Goblin-esque. Even though it doesn't make sense that this Goblin would have that, but whatever. So, we're fighting in the clock tower in case anybody who isn't watching the movie, if you're curious where I am in the film, Spider-Man and Harry Osborn are fighting in the clock tower, and Gwen is watching them. Gwen, obviously, is about to die. Oh, he just webbed her. So, yeah, this moment here, when he webs her and grabs her, that was in the that was in a TV spot. So it made me think that, oh, maybe he saves her. Maybe she won't die. Should I take a shot for how bad Harry Osborn looks as Green Goblin? R.I.P. Gwen. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. The webbing's about to rip. Yep. Oh, and there she goes. Gwen is falling. And she's falling fast. And Peter is jumping down. We can see Gwen in his eye reflection. All right, we're going to take a shot. And he's trying to web at her. The web just turned into a fucking hand. I don't like that. That looks kind of stupid. He got her. Oh, fuck. Damn. I forgot how fucking brutal that smack in the head was. Holy shit. Man. If this movie was rated R, she would be gushing blood from her head, dude. Holy fuck. And this is where Andrew Garfield's acting. This is where his acting gets me. Especially because in the comics, it's he webs her and her neck snaps back and her neck breaks and that's how she dies. I feel like this made her death even more brutal. Um, oh, you're seeing some blood come from her nose, and yeah, I do like how they made her wear the Gwen Stacy jacket that she wore in the comic when she died. Oh, Andrew crying right now is fucking brutal, man. I can't do this without you. Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna lie, that got me. Him saying I can't do this without you, that got me. Shit. Fuck. And it's Gwen Stacy's funeral. Fuck. Peter just looks so depressed, so sad. Him standing there at the gravesite. Fuck. Shit. See, what sucks is that this movie isn't good, right? So, if this was a better movie, man, this plot point would hit so fucking hard. Yes, I do have my No Way Home tickets as we speak. Yes. But the reason why this moment is even as impactful as it is because of Emma Stone being so fucking likable as she is, and Andrew Garfield's performance. We're going through the seasons, and it's now snowing, and he's at her gravesite. Fuck. So, how long has it been now? I assume it's been. If they graduated high school in the summer, and if it's now snowing, it's been 6 months, maybe? And so you could argue that he hasn't been Spider Man for 6 months, and he's just been going to her gravesite, what, every day? I don't know. Um, oh, it's the man in black, the man with the hat. We saw him go into Ravencroft. Why is he not just disappearing? Why is he not just reappearing and appearing? He's talking to Harry Osborne. Harry Osborne is saying that his condition it comes and goes. I guess that's why he looks normal right now. Mr. Friars? That's this guy's name? So there you go. There's the octopus arms. It's moving. They're moving. There's the vulture wings. And there's the rhino suit. And he's walking by all of them. And I guess so. This man in black, right? Um, the Curse of Thorn guy. He's the one who I guess is supposed to form the Sinister Six. All right, man. Thank God Sony did not get to make their Sinister Six movie, because what a fucking letdown that would have been. Who is this Mr. Fries guy? Who is this man in black? The man with the hat. Who is he? Why does he want to form the Sinister Six? I know that they could have established that in a future movie or in the Sinister Six movie. They could have explained that, but it's so random. It's so bizarre the way how they do it, man. All right, so here's the moment where, even though we don't flat out say that Sally Field knows that he's Spider-Man, I do like how Aunt May talks to Peter in a way where she's giving him advice kind of about being Spider-Man, but not really. Like, I like how they play that relationship between them. Um, but yeah. Man. Andrew Garfield plays being depressed very well. Man, fuck. Yikes. I'm sure it's not helping. I'm sure it's not helping seeing all these fucking Gwen Stacy pictures all over your fucking room. I'm sure that's not helping, dude. I'm not saying take it down, but it's like you're only gonna, especially when he knows that it's his fault, between not listening to Captain Stacy, between not letting her go in the cab, the Curse of Thorn. Yeah, that's what this guy reminds me of. The Man in Black. Boots, because in Halloween 5, all we saw was the guy's boots walking around when he breaks Michael Myers out of the fucking prison. Do you guys remember that? Halloween 5, Michael Myers was sitting in a fucking jail cell. Like, what the fuck? Peter is watching Gwen's graduation speech, and we're seeing flashes of them together. Man, fucking brutal, man. Brutal, brutal, brutal. But he has a lot of pictures of Gwen. Like, not only on his wall, not only in the frame, but he has them in his closet, on the closet door. He has so many pictures of her. Don't get me wrong. If I was dating Emma Stone, I would have pictures of her all over my fucking room as well. Don't get me wrong. I do not blame you, Peter Parker. It's just an observation, really. So, alright, yeah. Rhino was out there causing mayhem and destruction. I guess he was given this Rhino suit by Curse of Thorn. I mean, thank God that Rhino just so happened to do this on the same day that Spider-Man is deciding to come back. You know, like, what if this was 2 weeks ago and Peter Parker was still depressed? It's like, well, Rhino would have caused some fucking damage, huh? There is Paul Giamatti in the robot Rhino suit. Do you guys like the robot Rhino suit? I'm okay with it. I'll be honest. I don't mind the robot suit, because I really don't know how else you do the Rhino costume in live action and make it look realistic. Okay, how did this little boy in the Spider-Man costume make it all the way out there? Like, the cops were able to grab his mom. None of the cops are grabbing the fucking kid. Are you serious? I get that they're trying to establish, hey, this is the same nerdy kid that Spider-Man helped. Spider-Man doing that made this kid brave, blah blah blah. And also, Spider-Man comes back. Hey, we don't know for sure that Rhino's not coming back. For all we know, Rhino will be in No Way Home. Or in an after credit scene, or hey. So there you go. Here's the return of Spider-Man. You could argue that Gwen Stacy dying and him ending, or not being Spider-Man for 6 months to a year, however long it is. Um, Maybe they just wanted to end this movie on a more positive note. I think if we bring back Paul Giamatti and just kind of have him tone down the accent, I think I think it could work. Because again, I don't hate this suit. Like him running on all fours kind of looks cool. We just saw the moment where Rhino is charging at him. Spider-Man is swinging the sewer top and he hits Rhino with it. Boom, end of movie. The thing that I don't like about that is that they put that last shot in the trailer. It's a cool shot, but they showed it in the trailer. And they end the movie on it. We don't even really see him fight Rhino. Now, I know Rhino is a lesser villain. I know you could probably debate that, like, okay, Spider-Man probably beats Rhino, so you don't have to have a whole big thing out of it. I get that, but it's odd that they just cut the movie off at right when the fight happens. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just the shot of him hitting Rhino with the sewer cap, and then it ends. They literally show that in the trailer. Why would they show the very last scene or the very last shot in the trailer? I hate when they do that. You hate the suit? Okay, I guess some people hate the Rhino suit. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't hate the Rhino suit. But yes, right. I feel like they showed Rhino in more commercials and than even Electro, right? Like they promoted the fuck out of Rhino. It'd be much cooler if they didn't show Rhino at all in the trailers, so that it was a complete surprise when we watch this movie. Hey, Connor. Um, it would be a much better surprise if we didn't know that Rhino was going to be Rhino in this movie, and then it was like at the end like this. Is there not an after credit scene? I thought I thought there was. No? Okay, so we're gonna take a shot over the fact that they showed the um, that Rhino scene was in all of the trailers. So we're taking a shot because Sony fucked up. Whoo! You've never seen Amazing Spider-Man 2? I do have my No Way Home tickets. Yes, I do. I'm seeing it Thursday, December 16th. I will have a non-spoiler review, and then I might do a spoiler live stream on Friday. So yeah. Uh, am I getting on tomorrow? Like, am I doing a live stream tomorrow? No, I don't know. Uh, you're seeing it on the 16th as well, 5 p.m. Yeah, I'm seeing it at 3 p.m. So hopefully, I don't want to get spoiled. I don't want spoilers. I heard John Campea say that they're only going to show movie critics 40 minutes of the movie, and that's it. So there's clearly shit that they're not going to want to spoil if they're not going to show movie critics the whole film. That makes me excited. You don't want another situation where that one person, that one reviewer on Twitter spoiled like the the end credit scene of Eternals. I don't know if you guys know about that, but there was that one guy from Variety who tweeted out a spoiler for Eternals after he saw the screening for it. What a fucking moron, huh? All right, guys. Well, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was definitely a film. Did Amazing Spider-Man 2 bomb or do well? It did okay. I think it made over 700 million, which is pretty good. Yes, I do watch John Campea. I mean, I don't watch him religiously. I don't watch everything, but I mostly watch when he posts his clips from his live show. If I see topics that I want to watch, I'll watch those clips. I don't watch the whole like 2 hour show. But yeah, I subscribe to John Campea. Hell, that's a guy that I look up to, right? I would love to be in that position, to do live streams every day, you know, I can't imagine he probably makes a lot of money doing that. I would love to be in that position. I look up to him. I don't always agree with him, right, in his opinion, but I certainly he seems genuine, so which pop singer is better, Miley Cyrus or Billie Eilish? Or Eilish? Eilish? I mean, I don't really listen to either of them, if I'm being honest. I don't, but I'll say Billie Eilish just because Miley Cyrus seems crazy as fuck. But then again, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Music wise, I don't know. I think the only Billie Eilish song I heard was her James Bond song. You know what I mean? Um, and Miley Cyrus, the only song I know by her is fucking "Party in the USA." Like I don't know any. I don't know anything. Other countries are getting it on the 15th. Uh-oh. I guess that means I gotta stay off of fucking Twitter for a whole day. I'll stay off of Twitter that Wednesday into Thursday until I see the movie myself on Thursday. Let me ask you guys, what would you rather have? I'm gonna I'm gonna do a non-spoiler review on Thursday, the 16th, for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'll be honest, it's probably gonna be just me geeking out and saying I love it, right? I mean, I don't wanna be preconceived and saying that like, oh, I know for sure I'm gonna love it, so I'm gonna have a bias. But I'll have to be honest and say like, I'm not gonna talk about plot points. I'm not gonna talk about certain, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be as spoiler free as I can, and I'll probably just be gushing over the movie. Would you rather me on Friday, the 17th, would you rather me do a spoiler video or would you rather me do a spoiler live stream? I'm probably going to post a poll for that too, but I might as well ask you guys because you guys seem to be my most loyal peeps who watch my live streams. Spoiler live stream. All right. Live stream. I think you should do a video just for the stream fatigue, like you were saying. Okay. So, you think I should do just the spoiler video? Okay. All right. Ugh. Wow, there's no after credit scene. Fuck. Why did I think? You know what? I think I thought the man in black talking to Harry Osborne. I think I thought that was a after credit scene. But holy shit. Holy shit. Man. Okay. All right. Well, while I talk to you guys a little bit more, I'm going to click on the deleted and alternate scenes just to have it playing while we talk. Maybe I'll talk to you guys about these deleted scenes for a little bit. Okay, so all right, this is the deleted scene of um, Peter Parker is at Gwen's gravesite, and I'm pretty sure this is where we find out that his father is still alive. Now, the first time I saw this scene, I was like, "Do what? Really? We really did this? His father's still alive?" Now, I know that in the comic books, I believe they did a similar thing where his father was still alive and he met him and blah, blah, blah. Um, yeah, the camera is turning around and his father is going to be revealed to be behind him. He's got a beard. Fuck. Peter. Yeah. I mean, shit. If you kept this in the movie, if you kept this in the movie, it would definitely be a what the fuck moment. This would be yet another plot. And it's like, you've stayed away. You've been out of my life all of this time. See, Andrew Garfield's performance is actually great. Him saying, no, stay right there. Don't move. Like he's angry. And I will say this, as somebody myself who I haven't seen my father since I was 3 years old, I would probably have the same reaction that Andrew Garfield has right now. Damn, Andrew's acting right now. Where he's like, no. He's like, you're dead. Who are you? And he's angry. Fuck. This acting. Andrew Garfield does. Fuck. I might say Andrew Garfield is a better actor than Tobey Maguire, which is like, I know some people are going to get pissed. I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, don't get me wrong. But Andrew Garfield is acting his ass off like as if this is an Oscar caliber movie. The problem is that it's not an Oscar caliber movie. And now he's hugging him. Oh fuck. Man, that was a good. That must have been so hard for this director to cut this scene out. But then what happens? Do they talk? I guess they talk. Why now? Why come back now? All right, at least he asked him that. So the mother did die on the plane. How the fuck did he survive the plane crash? Does he answer that? Did was there a parachute? Where the fuck has he been? He looks so different with the beard and shit. Barely recognize him. It is kind of cool to see a Spider-Man movie with it snowing. I think this is the first and only Spider-Man movie that has snow in it, not counting Spider-Verse, obviously. Spider-Verse has some snowy stuff. Hey Mike, who is hotter, Miley Cyrus or Billie Eilish? Who's hotter? Billie Eilish. Man, Peter's saying I don't know how to go on without her. Fuck. That's pretty heavy. And with what? Holy shit! His father just said, "With great power comes great responsibility." Ah! Did that just happen? His father says, "With great power comes great responsibility." Like he said it. He didn't pull the Uncle Ben Martin Sheen, like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of try to say, hey, when you have a duty, then you do something with that's important, and you make sure you do that because you have an obligation. But like, he's so trying not to say the actual fucking phrase, "With great power comes great responsibility," but he's basically saying it, right? His father said the words, "With great power comes great responsibility." No denying it. No, like, it's quote. He said it. That was, I completely forgot that. Completely. Wow. Oh, okay. So we're seeing the plane. So was this, so the mother's dead. The guy who was trying to kill them is dead. And the father has a parachute. Okay. Oh, but the guy's still alive. Oh. And he's fighting him. So they had an extended version of what happened on this plane. Okay. I guess that makes sense because honestly, it's like they show that with the plane stuff and then they just sort of end it. At least they show that the father got a parachute. So there is a deleted scene that shows that. Interesting. All right. This is a scene of Peter and Gwen at graduation. Oh, hey, Flash Thompson. I was wondering where was he? He just said he got into college. See, I like Flash as a good guy. Like, now that we're past the whole I was a bully thing, I like the idea that he's friends with them. He's hugging Peter. And I like this actor that plays Flash. I'll argue that I like this actor that plays Flash in this movie more so than the Flash that's in Homecoming and hell, maybe even Joe Manganiello. Now, that's so weird. They just cut out the Flash part completely. Wow. That's fucked up. All right, here is the scene of Jamie Foxx with his mom. I guess I don't know if she's sick or what's going on with her. She's in bed with tubes up her nose. Oh, and he has to tell her that it's his birthday. That actress looks familiar. The actress that plays his mom. Where do I know her from? Hmm. Mike, have you seen the music video of the song "Wrecking Ball" by Miley Cyrus? Have I seen the music video? I mean, I've seen the part of her riding the wrecking ball, but I don't remember the video other than that. I've probably only seen that one clip of her with the wrecking ball, but I don't think I've seen the whole video. No. So we just had another scene of Jamie Foxx daydreaming about him yelling at his mom and sticking up for himself the same way that he did to Alexander Smythe, even though he didn't really do it, right? It was all in his head. And he spends his birthday by himself with that little ass fucking cake that he probably bought for himself. Again, very pathetic, very, you know, I get, like, I know that we're supposed to feel bad for Electro. I get it. I get it. I get it. I just wish that it wasn't so forced. Um, Andrew Garfield is a better actor. Toby is just more likable. All right, Tyron, I'm glad you said that. I think that's the best way to put it. Andrew Garfield is a better actor than Tobey Maguire, like, period. But Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker is more likable. Or more relatable. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that. All right, here we have a random scene of apparently there was a coroner with Electro, a guy who was listening to headphones, and I guess he just died when Electro woke up. Yeah, I'm okay with them deleting that from. It was just a random dude who was down there, and he had headphones on. Who is hotter, Miley Cyrus or Cardi B? Oh, and this guy got electrocuted. We saw his dead body there. Um, Miley Cyrus or Cardi B? Um, Miley Cyrus. All right, here is another deleted scene of Peter. He just put his Spider-Man suit over his father's briefcase. Is this the same scene where Peter listens to "Gone, Gone, Gone" or whatever the fuck that song was, guys? I think I only know that song because of this movie. They just released a Morbius clip, did they? Huh. Maybe we'll check that out after these deleted scenes. I'm not going to be able to show the Morbius clip on the screen. I hope that's okay. If I do end up looking that up. Okay, so that scene of Andrew Garfield on his bed when he starts listening to his music, what they cut out of that is we cut to Emma Stone, and she's in her room and she's thinking about Peter as well. They're both looking at pictures of themselves, of each other on their phones. They're both missing each other. I actually feel like they probably could have kept the stuff of Emma Stone thinking about him too. I would have been okay with that. It's so weird to see what they deleted versus what they kept. I do feel like there's a good amount of these scenes that I would have kept, and then there's other stuff that was in this movie that I would have cut out. You didn't think I would pick Miley? I don't know. Cardi B doesn't. Um, she doesn't do it for me. She comes off very trashy, and which I guess you can say the same thing about Miley, right? But so I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they're both almost on the same fucking level. So, oh, here we have a moment where Felicia Hardy meets Peter Parker. Holy shit! Look at this. Felicia Hardy is because Peter came to Oscorp. Um, And Felicia Hardy is bringing him to. Okay, is this the part where we see the Goblin suit? Okay. I probably would have kept this scene in the movie too because this is where you establish the Goblin suit. You at least set it up. I think that's what the because otherwise it's just sort of a random like, oh, the Goblin suit's downstairs. Whereas at least you see a scene of, oh shit, Peter just fucking saved Felicia Hardy there. She almost got whacked right in the face. Kind of interesting because we know the history of Black Cat and Spider Man. So to see Peter and Felicia interact, I mean, they're not really talking a lot to each other, but they are standing next to each other. Jenna, I am watching the deleted scenes of this film. There's actually a lot of deleted scenes in this movie. Okay, so here's where you cut to the moment where he tells Peter. Harry's about to show Peter a bunch of footage. I remember this part was in the trailer. They showed this in the trailer where Harry is like, hey, Peter, check this shit out. Here's a bunch of secret files that our fathers kept on us. But it wasn't in the movie. It's so weird. It's so weird how they show certain moments in the trailer, even though it's deleted from the movie, the scenes are deleted. See, Harry is showing Peter that Peter was being watched and ever since he was a kid. Isn't that the question of the day? I remember that in the trailer, but they didn't show that. Yes, that was a main scene in the trailer where Harry says to him, Oscorp has been watching you. And Peter says, why? And Harry says, isn't that the question of the day? That was in like every trailer, but not in the movie at all. I mean, fuck. You know, it's so bizarre when movies do that. And then Harry is showing Peter, I think this was in the movie, Harry is showing Peter the footage of Norman and Richard working together. Yeah, this was in the movie, right? So they're okay. They're comparing the disease, the Osborne disease, to Alzheimer's and cancer. It's like a combination of that. That was the best scene of the whole movie. And it's not even in the movie. I know. I know. Okay, look. Hey, this deleted scene is we actually see Gwen Stacy get accepted into Oxford. Um, Her interview. We see the guy tell her, "Welcome to Oxford." We're seeing Peter Parker sitting on the edge of a building. Um, you've been thinking about making out with Miley Cyrus? Okay, that's good for you, dude. All right. Hey, maybe someday, one day it'll happen. Wow, you can actually see the string on Andrew Garfield's back as he's sitting on the edge. I know it's a safety thing, but they didn't even take it out of like digitally take it out. Oh shit, is this Gwen Stacy just is knocking on Peter's door. She's asking if Peter's home. Aunt May says no. Isn't this the moment where Mary Jane is supposed to walk up and they meet each other? Oh, but they cut it. Okay, they cut it. If that was in the movie, Mary Jane would be coming probably behind her, and then they would, yes. But they cut it. Fuck, it'd be nice if they had it there. I mean, why not? It's. Whatever. I just. I want to see how Shailene Woodley acted as Mary Jane, even if it was only two scenes. I want to see, like, how she played it. Even if she played her a little cocky, or if she played her like, hey, I'm the hot chick, or if she played her down to earth. Shailene Woodley is not coming back. I mean, technically, she never was there. Yes. Kirsten Dunst is the only Mary Jane that is in continuity. Shailene Woodley was never on screen as Shailene Woodley. All of her scenes are deleted, so it just doesn't. Okay, and we just had a scene of Peter outside of the house talking to Aunt May. And I think Aunt May just told him that Gwen was looking. Oh! So Gwen actually did try to see him before she left. Wow, that's actually so much better. So that scene of Gwen going to Peter's house was her looking for him because she wanted to talk to him before she left for England. So she wasn't just going to bounce. Interesting, interesting. Wow. Um, and then Peter finds out that she tried to look for him, and then that's when he goes off to get her on the bridge. All right, now this is a scene of fucking Harry Osborne turning into the Goblin. I guess it's a lot more extended. Yeah, you're seeing. Okay, now you're seeing him crawling along the fucking ground, and his hair is all fucking goofy looking, and he's got the long nails. His eyes are green. His teeth are sharp now. I really hate the way he looks as Green Goblin. And don't they say that like this Green Goblin suit is supposed to be the only thing that's keeping his body stable or keeping the disease like in check? What kind of cure is that? Like he needs to always wear this suit now to be cured? I don't understand. Okay, the SWAT team has gone into Oscorp. Pumpkin bomb goes off. I guess that's supposed to show. Yes. This is what we didn't see. Harry Osborne is gonna. He's gonna put the suit on. Oh, we see Felicia Hardy. Felicia Hardy sees him as Green Goblin. And she says Harry. She recognizes him. He sees his reflection. He looks like a fucking weirdo. He tells her to get out. So he doesn't want to hurt her. Okay. Um, it's interesting that Felicia Hardy had more scenes than that. Like she had a couple more scenes actually. Um, okay, this is weird. So Harry Osborne took the guy who fired him from Oscorp and dropped him from high above and killed him, I guess. And that's it. That's the end of the deleted scenes. All right, well, all right, guys. Uh, I hope you guys enjoyed the Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man 2 live watch. Um, cheers to us getting through all of the Spider-Man movies, minus the Tom Holland movies. I will save the Tom Holland movies for whenever I do the MCU rewatch. Whenever that happens, I don't know when that's going to happen, but it will happen eventually. But we got through it. We got through it. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys maybe enjoyed the movie more this time around. I guess that's it. All right, I guess I can turn this movie off. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for joining me in each and every one of these live streams. I can't guarantee how many more I'll be doing. At least going forward, we'll see how many people want to see more of them. What else I can do to make them more fun for people. You know, but yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Brush your hair. Thanks for watching. Hit that notification bell for the latest and greatest videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.